But you're hosting, Jeff.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, and welcome to Around the Pound. And we're back with our standard format because our awards are finished. So, we're going to kick things off with the news. And I'll go first. Of course, joining me, the regular band of knuckleheads, we have James Phoenix and Chris, aka The Mole. Okay then. So, I will kick things off with Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. The Lord of the Hunt DLC has gotten more info. It will focus on Torvin, the dwarf that teaches Talion how to counter Caragors and injure Grogs in Nirn. The story will be about Torvin and Talion, your character, fighting against Sauron's new beast-mounted war chiefs. The new war chiefs will have new abilities. It is slated to release later this year, which means it'll release sometime soon because there's only 2 months left in the year. So that should be fun. Let's kick things over to the Mole.
Fair enough. And I will start off with, they have the casting up, the casting calls, not the actual cast, for Supergirl, the TV series. And this is a little bit of a list. Sorry for gimmick infringement, Jim. But for Kara, they're looking for a Caucasian female, aged 22 to 26, to play 24. They describe her as Kara, at age 12, was sent from her dying home planet of Krypton to Earth, where she was taken in by the Danvers, a foster family who taught her to be careful with her extraordinary powers. After repressing said skills for more than a decade, Kara is forced to bust out her super moves in public during an unexpected disaster. So that's Kara. Then we have Alex. And Alex is Kara's gorgeous, brilliant, science-minded foster sister. That's right, gorgeous, brilliant, science-minded foster sister. She's in no way going to be a Mary Sue. Growing up, Alex was partly jealous of her sibling, yet also fascinated by her abilities, prompting Alex to learn as much about alien anthropology, Scientology, and culture as she could. Today, Alex works for a secret government organization alongside her heroic sis. She will face many challenges, both mundane and super. I don't know what you guys think about those two so far.
Interesting.
I could see Alex becoming the villain. I could see her becoming the Lex of the series out of sheer jealousy.
Yep. Then the odd one next is we have James Olsen. In his late 20s, early 30s, their open ethnicity on that one, James is a smart, worldly, attractive photographer for Catco. See the next one. Though an alpha male, his salt-of-the-earth nature, ethics, and a huge old crush from Kara.
Wait, they're making Jimmy Olsen an alpha male? How the hell does that work?
I'm guessing it's probably because he's grown up, and in the comics, as Jimmy matured, he did become more dominant within the newspaper and stuff because he was more confident.
Fair enough. I just never really saw Jimmy as an alpha male.
Yeah, in fact, if you go into Batman Beyond, the Batman Beyond years, looking at Superman Beyond, Jimmy Olsen is actually the CEO of a company.
Yep.
Nice.
Then we have Cat Grant. The project is eyeing females in their 40s, again, open ethnicity, to play the founder of Catco, a media conglomerate that Cat built from the ground up. Kara, Supergirl's mild-mannered alter ego, will work as a personal assistant to Cat, who is described as J-Lo by way of Anna Wintour.
I have no idea who the second person is.
Neither do I.
Then we have Winslow, Win Scott. This 20-something tech wizard, Comic Con.
It's shot.
Yeah, we're saying this 20-something tech whiz Comic Con stalwart toils from Catco as a programmer. Unaware of his own potential, unaware of his secret, he carries a torch to Kara, whom he lives next door to.
Friend-zoned it.
And then we have Hank Henshaw, an upstart CIA agent. Hank grew obsessed with intergalactic. Okay, sorry, someone else was talking about. Go ahead, Marcus.
No, I was trying to mention something about the previous character, but you just kind of kept right on trucking. Because I was going to ask, isn't Winslow shot? Isn't that like the toy maker or toy man or something like that? Because I recognize the name.
Like it might be, but I was saying, yeah, CIA agent Hank grew up obsessed with intergalactic intel. Now in his 40s and lording over the DEO, Department of Extra Normal Operations, he is on a high alert when Supergirl reveals herself, worried that her otherworldly abilities pose threat to mankind. And that's all the ones they have listed.
We all know who Hank Henshaw is, right?
Yep.
We do.
He's the cyborg Superman. Or he would become the cyborg Superman after Clark bites the dust.
Yep, although it sounds like in this world there is no Superman.
Right. So
hence why they've had to give her an adopted family so that she can learn the same lessons she learns when Clark introduces her to the Kents and stuff, which, hey, I'm all for. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it works.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping this series is pretty good. It sounds like a retelling of Superman, but with Supergirl as the character and doing stuff in a different way, so they're just making their own universe. Yep. It could be pretty good.
It works.
So,
Indeed.
Okay. I'm sticking with the superhero theme. This past week, following in the footsteps of DC, which we spoke about a little while ago, Marvel announced their listing of their planned Phase 3 films. That includes I've got another 2-part Avengers film, as well as some new heroes and some sequels to some existing franchises. We're not going to go into too much detail on that right now, because there will be a full review of that tomorrow night at approximately 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Maybe 11:30. But there'll be a special review of that for, is it the Mole Hole we're doing that for?
Yeah, we'll be doing a special for the Mole Hole, but I'd say more discussion and review, since none of us actually watched the entire press conference.
Right, yeah, there's a discussion of the list of films, if we think it's a good, the order of the films are good, what we think the movies will lead to, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to go any further into that, or the films that were announced, but stay tuned for that tomorrow night.
Nice.
Excellent. So, the next piece of news I have is just really, really quick news. It's that the Xbox One has a price drop. It is now $350 US retail. So that should be good for the kids who want Xbox Ones for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That should be pretty good.
Yep.
Fox has agreed to script commitment for a new mystery drama called League of Pan, a gritty mystery spin on the classic Peter Pan story. Deadline reports that the League of Pan will follow the Lost Boys 15 years after they've left Neverland and moved to Los Angeles. They've grown up and grown apart, and then they're forced back together when someone begins targeting them for murder. The script is being handled by Andrew Miller, who developed CW's The Secret Circle. He'll also be serving as executive producer, along with Imagine Television's Brian Grazer and Franchi Calfo. Miller will also be writing a new script, rather than using the one from Brian McCulley's when the 20th attempt this idea, when they first attempted this idea 22 years ago, or so I would say 2 years ago. Pan has gotten a few treatments on TV recently. Last one was Once Upon a Time, featuring his character predominantly, and this year NBC is now producing a Peter Pan live musical. So yeah, there's this one. which someone described as Peter Pan, only with less whimsy and magic and more murder.
It sounds like a train wreck, and yet I must watch it.
To me, it sounds like that's going to be awesome. I don't know why. It sounds like, wait, you're taking this concept and you're trying to do it as like a gritty crime drama series? That could be great.
That could be interesting.
Peter Pan meets the Blacklist.
Yeah. So Peter Pan and L.A. and the Lost Boys grew up, mentally prepping for comparisons to Robin Williams movie.
Yeah, no kidding.
Why, is there someone that just doesn't like him because he's funny?
Ha!
Thus, that guy suddenly becomes a villain for no apparent reason other than the fact he was doing his job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like every Robin Williams movie. Which that becomes a problem for me when I watch some of them. When I was a kid and I was watching them, hilarious. When you watch them now as an adult, I'm like, why is this guy a villain? He's doing his job. I mean, I'm sorry, if I was doing my job and suddenly the guy next to me started to fucking juggle and go honk honk and do clown noises, I'd punch him in the face. I'm pretty sure I'd punch him in the face.
Fair enough.
But I understand it because it's for families, therefore it's for something that all people can understand. So it's like it's more of the what do you call it, the harassment or repression of creativity. But
well, it's
handled badly.
Think of it as well. It's a very important lesson. Think of it this way, because they reiterated the lesson recently. You don't have to be the bad guy.
I'm assuming you're referencing something, but okay.
The Lego Movie. Because they kind of remind you of President Business. Oh, he's always working, and he's put work ahead of the family, and he's always perfect and businessy, and no whimsy, and no creativity.
Yeah.
Anyway,
over to Jim.
I would argue after rewatching that movie, President Business is actually the hero of Lego Movie. At least from my perspective. Because going back and rewatching it, he is a guy that spent his hard-earned money that he earned on something he cared about. He built it with his own passion. He wanted it all kept nice and neat. And then his little kid came down and just fucked it up. It would basically be like, let's say you had a kid, Marcus. If your kid was to suddenly go in there and jam fucking peanut butter toast into your PlayStation 4, would that be cool because it's creativity? Or would that be like, no, fuck you, you little brat? Exactly. Lord Business is the good guy.
Nice.
That's my standpoint on that. It may be a little controversial, but he's the good guy.
Hey, everybody just have their opinion. Moving along. The second thing, because for some reason I seem to have a track record of covering disasters involving Disney.
Has there been a non-disaster involving Disney in recent years?
Ouch. Anyway, no, coming from over Fox 8 News over on the West Coast there, Piedmont area. West Side, or I should say not the West Coast. This is World. This is down in Florida. Sorry, this is Disney World. The Seven Dwarfs Mine Train ride at Walt Disney World, which just opened recently. I think it was only a few months ago it opened. What does it say here? Where the thing was it say? Does it say when it opened? I know it only opened like within the last 6 months. I think it was a brand new ride. I thought it mentioned it in here. Apparently, it did not.
Fair enough. We'll go with an estimate of 6 months.
About within the next 6 months. But yes, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train caught fire and had to be shut down for several hours after, I don't know if they hadn't tested since they built the ride or what, but apparently the fireworks display landed on it and set it on fire.
Fair enough.
Apparently, the fireworks had just ended when embers from said fireworks landed on the building outside the attraction at 10:30 p.m. On the night of I think this would have been 2 nights ago. Um,
Is there at least a photo?
There's a YouTube video.
Is there a photo of the Fry meme, as in the eyes, with not sure if sleepy or carbon monoxide poisoning?
Ha! I see what you did there. That was terrible. It was awesome. Anyway, so about 10:30 p.m. the fire ignited. The fire was reported on social media a little before at 10:20, so it was actually a little bit before 10:30. They quickly put the fire out. No one got hurt. As of 11 p.m., eyewitnesses said the fire was out, so they got it out within 20 minutes. The Reedy Creek fire official said the fire likely started when the fallout fireworks landed on the attraction and ignited the decorative materials on the outside of the structure. They believe that the fireworks fell from the Magic Kingdom fireworks show. The ash landed on top of the attraction, catching the fake grass on fire, said Bo Jones of the fire department. It was contained to just the grass. It did not get into the building or the structure. The fireworks occurred during park hours. It was difficult to access due to its location, but the passengers got off safely. The Fairly Roller Coaster was closed for about 2 hours before reopening around midnight.
Based on his name, did he say to him, "Don't worry, the ride will get better. You just got to believe"?
He should have. He should have. Which is, there are a couple of photos from Twitter from at Theme Park Review. Put up some Twitter photos. A couple other people here, different things. So, yeah, but otherwise the ride caught fire, but nobody got hurt. They put it out, but yeah, apparently Disney needs to be more careful where they're aiming the fireworks.
2 nights ago, that would have put it on Halloween, so it's probably a Halloween celebration.
Probably. That would not surprise me. Fair enough. So that's that.
And now you know why most cities outlaw fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
Damn Disney sending wrong messages to children.
Yeah, well.
All right, then. Well, sticking with the Fox theme,
Oh.
let's move on to movies.
Wait, sticking with the Fox news. Have you got breaking news? Have you discovered indeed what the Fox does say?
No.
No.
But reportedly, the Gambit movie has gotten a green light from Fox. And with those reports, they are saying that Channing Tatum is slated to star as the Raging Cajun, with Simon Kinberg and Lauren Schuler Donner, producers of the X-Men movie, slated to produce this one. And then in news that slightly saddened me, Joshua Zetmer, the writer of the 2014 RoboCop reboot, is tied to Gambit as its writer. Yeah, the guy who wrote that schlock RoboCop is going to write Gambit. Make of that what you will.
To be fair, the reboot of RoboCop wasn't that bad.
I've heard reports contrary to that, but fair enough. And right now, RoboCop is his only writing credit. Although supposedly he does have an uncredited role in some rewrites of Quantum of Solace, which I didn't like either. So yeah, right now I have very little stock in how well the writing's going to be for this movie.
Fair enough.
But hopefully it'll be awesome. Channing Tatum could be good if he can pull off the accent.
To be fair, I would say I would go with he doesn't need the accent.
Really?
Well, you can always do it where he's been in America for so long he's lost the accent. I mean, it worked for Black Widow.
Dude, Cajun is American, dude.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean, just give him the regular city accent of like where he's actually from. Thus, he would sound non-Cajun.
But what you were saying, Mo, is the Cajun is the regular city accent of where he's from. If you're from the Louisiana area, New Orleans, where he's supposed to be from, the natural accent is the Cajun bio accent that he talks with.
Yeah, but I was saying when Marcus said if he can pull it off, which means it's not his natural accent, I'm saying they could always say he's moved to another location and therefore he's got the accent he has now. So he can concentrate on acting instead of trying to work in a fake accent.
Fair enough.
True. We'll see what happens.
As long as he doesn't strip.
Hey, that would kind of fit within the Gambit character. He's a party animal.
Yep.
Moving on to Mole.
And since we're supposed to say, based on what the last two have said, these fit with something, I don't know. Fitting with the comic book adaptations everyone's been waiting for. Harvey Comics now has a new Netflix live-action show.
I saw this.
Richie Rich, the richest kid in the world, is headed to Netflix in 2015. Deadline reports Netflix has picked up all 21 episodes of Awesomeness TV's, I'm not making that name up, Awesomeness TV's live-action comedy series, Richie Rich, with the intent of streaming them for the US, Canada, and Latin America beginning next year. The Richie Rich character, who has had comics, animated shows, and even a 1994 movie, starring everyone's favourite Home Alone person, is played here by Dark Skies Jake, and I hope I'm saying this right, Brennan. It's hard to say because it's got two N's, so I couldn't decide if it's Brennan or Brennan.
It's probably Brennan, but close enough.
Yes, Brennan. Jake Brennan, with the premise being that Richie makes $1 trillion by investing and selling a cool new green technology, and then moves into a decked out mansion and instantly starts living the most awesome life ever. The series also stars Joshua Carlin from Sam and Cat, Jenna Joshua Carlin from Sam and Cat.
I don't know who the fuck. Okay, fair enough.
I don't know anyone from Sam and Cat. I'm not a 12-year-old girl. Jen Ortega from Jane the Virgin, Lauren Taylor, Chris Venelhaven from Star Trek Into Darkness, and Brooke Welker. Brian Robbins, who's got credits with Smallville, Good Burger, and Sunny with a Chance, co-founder and CEO of DreamWorks Animation-owned Awesomeness TV, Tim Pollock, and Jeff Hudson, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, are executive producers and showrunners.
Fair enough.
So, Richie Rich.
And I just a little quote as the black nerd of Black Nerd Comedy said on Twitter when this was announced. Thus, the Harvey Comics cinematic universe begins.
Fair enough. Although it wouldn't be cinematic as it's a TV show.
True, but then again, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is considered part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so...
Yes, but it's considered part of that universe because they had a cinematic universe to begin with.
Fair enough. It was a joke. Stop killing jokes with your logic.
It's not a very good joke.
I never said it was a good joke.
Anyway, your news, Jim.
Yes. So, going back to TV, or sticking with TV, because I guess Netflix was technically TV. It was announced this week. This week. What the hell?
It was announced this week. Of what the hell?
No, it killed my link somehow.
Marcus hates it when that happens in Hyrule.
I know.
Huh? See what I did there, Marcus? Killed your link.
Mm-hmm.
Killed my link.
So I give props to Marcus.
Mo might be able to attest as whether he's heard of this or not. But, Mo, have you heard of a show that exists apparently over there called Saturday Night Takeaway?
Oh, for fuck's sake, yes.
Yeah, they're bringing it over here. However, it will not be literally Saturday Night Takeaway because it will not be airing on Saturday night because it's going to be on NBC and they've already got Saturday Night Live, so it will be on another night. They haven't decided what night yet. But they're bringing that over to NBC, and it's going to be hosted by and starring Neil Patrick Harris.
Okay, he's a step up from our host.
Who's your host?
Anton Dack.
Never heard of him.
That's it. Yeah, but you wouldn't. They're like UK presenters, basically.
Oh, okay.
But they also starred in, I think it was either Biker Grove or Grange Hill, one of the two. Since then, they've been in everything like I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, Saturday Night Takeaway. And fun fact, they're from the same city as Simon.
Oh, interesting.
See, I'm just full of useless facts.
There you go.
But yeah, that show's not that good. It's basically bring members of the public on TV, get them to do a stupid little stunt so they can earn prizes.
Okay then.
Yeah.
So when they were addressing it over here, they were referring to it as a quote unquote variety show. End quote.
Mhm. Yeah, that they do some live performances and stuff during it, but the main premise is basically I'm trying to think of a show that you guys will. You know, like that show you had with the temple monkey thing on Nickelodeon.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Imagine that for adults without the charm.
Ugh. Lovely.
There we go.
Ah, there's the article. Now I finally found it. Okay.
You found this article?
Yeah, the Neil
don't
Patrick
need it
Harris
anymore.
Neil Patrick Harris signed the deal. A number of networks vied for Harris and his hosting chops, which he displayed during various award ceremonies. So NBC is in possession of both the show and the actor, known for his long time. Blah, blah, blah. There's currently not a timetable nor a title for the new show. Harris has expressed excitement over the project, however, and over the product of working off this British comic template. He said, "As I watched the show, I couldn't stop smiling. Now that I've seen many seasons, my face hurts. It's a game changer. Nothing like this has been done before, and its unique structure fits right into my random skill set. I can't wait to roll up my sleeves and have some fun."
Yeah, fair enough. And to be fair, like I said, he is a step up from our hosts, in my opinion, and he could probably make it work.
Yeah, I could see it. Funny. Plus,
He'll
given,
at least
given
bring
how,
in ratings just because Neil Patrick Harris.
and given how prolific he is, he'll bring in, actual celebrities.
Yep.
Maybe.
I'll say that didn't help the Smurfs movies.
True.
All right.
They
well,
are
I've only got-
they are enjoyable.
True. Blue.
so I've only got one more left. How many more do you guys have left?
I have one.
I have one. Hang on. It's not letting me scroll my text document at the moment, but I have more than one.
Okay. I'll go ahead and finish mine off. We'll stick with the comic book adaptation and TV themes here. And it has been reported that AMC is under pressure to restock its lineup of original scripted series with the conclusion of Mad Men coming up in the spring of 2015. To that end, AMC has canceled all of its unscripted series except for The Talking Dead and Comic Book Men to make room for new original scripted series.
Nice.
One of the series in the works is a TV series adaptation of the Vertigo Comics IP Preacher, which, if anybody knows that IP, it is a mature-rated comic. And it's being adapted by the writers, directors, and producers of This Is the End, Seth Rogen, and Evan Goldberg. They will be working with Sam Catlin, the producer of Breaking Bad, who will serve as Preacher's showrunner. Rogen has gone on record as saying that they intend to stay as close to the source material as possible, but that concessions will have to be made for differences in media format. So it looks like it's going to be a mature-rated comic book adaptation on AMC, run by the guy who runs Breaking Bad. This could be fucking awesome.
And also with ties to the people that made This Is the End, which was fucking horrible.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And I have 3 bits of news.
Yeah, but that sounds pretty cool. But go ahead.
I was slightly inaccurate. I actually have 2. I was mistaken. Sorry.
Fair enough.
My third bit of news, which not many, I don't know if you guys will care or not, Jim might, but Steven Spielberg has officially found his big friendly giant in the form of 3-time Tony Award winner Mark, I hope I'm saying this one right, Rylance,
Okay.
from The Other Boleyn Girl. The British stage actor has signed on to portray the titular character in the director's adaptation, the 1982 children's book. Based on the classic novel of the same name, Roald Dahl's The BFG follows a young orphan girl who befriends a malevolent giant known as the BFG and sets out to save her land from evil man-eating giants who have been invading the human world. Spielberg spoke on Rylance's casting as the BFG in a press release, praising the transformational actor whose work he has previously seen on stage. I am excited and thrilled that Mark will be making this journey with us to the giant country, says Spielberg. Everything about his career so far is about making the courageous choice, and I'm honored he has chosen the BFG as his next big screen performance.
Nice.
The rights to the project were acquired by Kathleen Kennedy at DreamWorks in 2010. Screenwriter Melissa Marifison has also tapped to write the adaptation after previously working on Spielberg and Kennedy on E.T. Producer is set to begin on this film early 2015.
Cool.
And it's set to release July 1st, 2016.
I'll admit, I haven't actually read that book, but I have read his other books, and they're pretty good, so I expect this to be a good movie.
See, for me, I love the BFG. I like the BFG, and when I was younger, we used to have a animated film of that was always shown on TV during bank holidays, and schools would look for any chance to show it to kids to get them into the books. It was wonderful. And hell, Spielberg, and people who worked with Spielberg on E.T., and an actor that he's really praising, and it seems like he's got, not because he's a big household name.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, I haven't read this book. My first question is, if you're casting a leading character for a movie called The Big Friendly Giant, how do you not cast The Big Show?
Because he's concentrating on acting.
Fair enough.
He'll probably use CGI and stuff to make him bigger.
Right, obviously. Okay. I'll do my next one.
Yep, over to Jim.
Next, I can't believe I'm announcing this, but shockingly, it actually doesn't look bad. But they have released a 1-minute trailer for the upcoming Grumpy Cat movie. It is entitled Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever. And it will be coming to the Lifetime Network this Christmas. Oh, God. Yeah, this is a thing. I will say the trailer was not as bad as I anticipated it being. I was kind of shocked by this. I thought that was going to be really, no, it didn't look that bad. The premise of the film, from what I can gather from the trailer, is basically there's a young girl who has some issues with Christmas, and she meets Grumpy Cat, who is apparently a stray or something. But for some reason, she can hear Grumpy Cat's thoughts, which is interestingly enough. I cannot tell you who Grumpy Cat's voice actor is. I'm not positive, but pretty funny sounding person, whoever it is. It's gonna really, what's that? Yeah, but no, it's a female, it's a woman. Grumpy Cat's a girl. But
the obvious Garfield joke.
Okay. But anyway, yeah. The movie is forthcoming. I'll admit it does not look too bad in terms of the trailer. It's available. You can go Google it. But
All right.
do we have so I've got a stutter here. I see here. Aubrey Plaza is voicing the Grumpy Cat. You might know Aubrey Plaza from awesome shows like Community. Yeah, she voices Community. She's also in that movie that came out recently. I cannot remember what it's called, but there was a movie that came out not too long ago where she played a girl who was graduating high school and wanted to do one of those stupid TVs. She wanted to do a bunch of sex stuff before college, so she made a list, and hilarious sexual antics too.
Who was she on Community?
I'm not. Let me check. Well, I think it's Community she's on.
I don't think she was
sorry.
on.
No, it's not. It's not Community. Parks and Recreation. Wrong show. So,
fair enough.
She is April Ludgate on Parks and Recreation.
Fair enough.
Indeed. And the film I was, let's see, where is it here? That was actually from last year. The to-do list was that film. Her recent films include About Alex, Ned Rifle, and in addition to Grumpy Cat, the forthcoming film Playing It Cool.
Nice.
But yeah, so she's going to be voicing Grumpy Cat. It looks like a pretty entertaining movie. It's good at all. Grumpy Cat's being all sassy and hilarious, and they get asked to, she and the little girl go on an adventure to, what does it say here? Because she always, Grumpy Cat's the only cat. She always gets pissed over and never chosen by the customers. The kid develops a sour attitude. Until one day during a very special 12-year-old girl named Crystal enters a pet store and falls in love with her. They form a unique friendship, and Crystal finds that she can hear the unique feline talk. In the middle of the holiday rush, they thwart the kidnapping of an exotic dog that she can't stand and rescues Crystal after the mall closes on Christmas Eve. And antics ensue from there. So it seems like kind of a fun movie.
Fair enough. On to the mall.
Indeed.
Fair enough. This one's just a rumor right now, so don't take it as guaranteed, people. But the Man of Steel writer, David Goyer, might have found his next project with a new DC comic show called Krypton. Bleeding Cool broke the news that the success of the pre-Batman drama Gotham might have inspired another superhero spin-off, this time involving Superman. The title suggests a pre-Superman TV series set on the hero's home planet of Krypton. The idea that Goyer might be attached doesn't seem like too much of a long shot, as he clearly explored the Krypton lifestyle in his Man of Steel screenplay. Comics such as World of Krypton and For the Man Who Has Everything have also ventured into Krypton territory. However, like I said, it's purely rumor at this point. It's also worth noting IGN did reach out to Warner Brothers about this, and the studio had no comments, so we don't know if it's true or not.
Fair enough. Just a note, because I did bring it up here, Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever will be premiering on Saturday, November 29th at 8, 7 Central on Lifetime.
Fair enough. And no one else had any other news, did they?
I have one more thing.
Oh, I thought you only had two. Fair enough.
I thought, no, that was the first one of the two. The Grumpy Cat thing.
Oh, because when Marcus asked us, I had three.
Okay, fair enough. Well, if you want to do your other one, then I can go ahead, because I'm not sure if you have the other one that I found. So why don't you finish up yours, and then I'll do mine at the end if you haven't already done it.
I don't think you'll have this, so you can go.
Okay, fair enough. There was an interview with Idris Elba. You may know him from many awesome movies. But in this case, where this concerns his Marvel role as Heimdall, Idris Elba confirmed via this interview that both his character Heimdall and Tom Hiddleston's Loki will appear in Avengers Age of Ultron. So what their roles will be, he was keeping very hush-hush on, but they will be in the movie.
Fair enough.
Just thought I'd mention that.
Fair enough. My news is only small, and no one here will care, but for those of you...
Your news is Marcus Shadow?
Nope. For those of you on this side of the pond, as people would say, North America gamers are now just less than a month away from Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. The hotly anticipated fourth home console entry into the Brawling series. While it hits that region on November 21st, European gamers were thinking they were going to have to wait additionally 2 weeks to get that game. Now, they've changed the date. Nintendo of Europe has confirmed the latest Smash Bros. Will now arrive in Europe instead of December 5th. It will arrive 1 week earlier on the 28th of November, just 7 days after the North American release.
Nice.
Whoop. So now back to our lovely host.
Very nice, very nice. That means we'll actually get to play it with you sooner. Woo!
Now I'll be busy.
Yeah, you'll be
I'm kidding.
15.
Or Dragon Age.
Right. But yeah, so now let's move on to the catch-up. Now, because we've, quote, been away, unquote, for about a month, we're going to expand the catch-up to include anything we've done since the first week of the award show. Well, for me, it's pretty much been the same stuff. I picked up Shadow of Mordor. I've been playing that, pretty far along in that. It's a really good game. It's a lot of fun. It's basically the Batman Arkham series, but with a more refined version of that combat engine and with swords, because Ranger kills. Swords, and you get a bow, and stealth killing. But yeah, it's basically that, and you don't get a grapple gun, so it's a lot of running around and crouching in stealth. And because you don't get a grapple gun, you get kind of like an Assassin's Creed style parkour system, which is kind of cool. You can climb up walls and stuff like that. It is a lot of fun. It also has Wraith mode, which is basically Detective Vision, only not as annoying and not as required. Like, you will find yourself not staying in Wraith mode a lot. You'll pop in and out of it because it basically functions the same as your Detective mode. You can see like enemies through walls. You needed to see certain pickups and stuff like that. but you won't find yourself staying in that mode like for most of the game like you did in Batman.
I would ask the question, while I understand why detective mode was required with Batman, how was detective mode annoying?
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't really annoying. It was actually really useful.
It was
really
annoying
useful
because
and really well done.
yeah, but it was annoying because at least for me, I found myself in detective mode most of the time because of how useful or required it was. And it's like I kind of want to run around with detective mode off to actually, enjoy the stunning visuals of the game because the visuals themselves were really, really well done. And I didn't feel I got to enjoy them as much because detective mode was almost a necessity. Whereas in this game, yeah, it's almost as much of a necessity, but you don't find yourself, at least I don't find myself having Wraith mode on all the time.
Which is fair enough, but I was just saying when you said it's not as annoying or required, it all implied there was something wrong with Detective Mode. I liked it because that's exactly how Batman would see stuff, and they've done visions and stuff like that before now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also up to the gamer how often they put that on. I know some people who have completed the game without using it, except for the parts where they had to scan the wall.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Personally, I had it on a lot. On certain ones, especially on Arkham City and stuff, 'cause I was like, fuck it, this game's not even trying, why am I?
Yeah. We'll see how that plays out for Arkham Knight next year.
I won't even need to bother using my thingy detective mode. I'll just use tank. Done.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, Shadow of Mordor is really good. There is a free DLC out for it that gives you the Black Hand of Sauron outfit and 3 runes to go with it, 1 for each of your weapons. And that's a cool thing too, is you can equip runes to your weapons and unlock rune slots. There's like I want to say 5 slots per weapon. It's pretty awesome.
Black Hand? That's racist.
That's Tolkien. He predates racism.
He invented racism.
I'm pretty sure.
He invented racism.
Yeah.
But no. So yeah, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, check that out. It is really good. I've also been playing a lot of Hyrule Warriors. A lot of it with Richter, especially more recently as I've gotten further in the adventure mode because wow, that shit is hard. But it's fun. I really enjoy it. The graphics are great. Playstyle is great. It's Zelda in a Dynasty Warriors engine, so I mean, you can't really go wrong with that.
Apparently you can, because don't ever go somebody completely bitching about something they took out of Dynasty Warriors in terms of the weapon creation.
Well, yeah, there's with the weapon customization. Apparently, in Dynasty Warriors, according to Richter, you're able to swap out the skills on your weapons, which you can't do in this version. Which, okay, fair enough. That would have been useful, but yeah.
Yeah, and I will say it works pretty much exactly the same as it does in Warriors Orochi 3.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Although I believe Richter also said he doesn't recall there being weapon skills that require X amount of kills to unlock in any Dynasty Warriors game.
Yeah, which is fair enough. That's probably something they took because Legend of Zelda, you need to unlock more of your upgrade.
Yeah.
Right, and it works. It's fun. But yeah, if you're a Legend of Zelda fan, give it a shot. If you're a Dynasty Warriors fan, you absolutely love the game. Because, come on, Dynasty Warriors with Legend of Zelda, that kind of sells itself. And the story's actually not that bad. Now, the characters they created for the story, they're kind of cool, but the look of it kind of doesn't fit with Legend of Zelda.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen in our review.
Indeed.
Yep.
I've also been playing a couple of PlayStation Network arcade games. One is Dust: An Elysian Tale. That game is awesome. I highly recommend picking that game up to anybody who loves like the old school Metroidvania style adventure hack and slash type games with RPG elements. That's basically what Dust is. It's a side-scrolling platformer with RPG elements. It's amazing. The graphics are stunning in that game. And then I've just recently started playing Velocity 2X, another arcade game. That game is actually pretty fun. It's hard, sort of. there's no permadeath in the game as far as I can tell. But some of the gameplay elements make it a little bit difficult, but it is fun because it basically combines old school shooters like Asteroids, Life Force, games like that, with classic side scroller shooters and platformers. It's actually kind of cool, fast paced, and it reminds me a lot of old school like NES games.
Well, it should also be worth noting that game did annoy some people.
Oh, I can tell how it would annoy, but how did it annoy the other people that you've read about?
Official no, not read about, but I've seen with my own eyes, including me. Because the game page on the PlayStation Store only shows her running around. The trailer only shows her running around and fighting stuff. It led with how it looked on the trailer and how it was led with the, with the pictures and stuff. It looked like it was just going to be like Metroid, where you get to run around as like the Samus type character. And then the second you start up the game, you're playing as this ship, and you're like, what the fuck? This isn't what the fuck? That'd be like showing me a Batman game and showing me just Batman, and then making me start off as Robin. I'd be like, the fuck is going on here?
Fair enough.
But it's meant to be pretty good when you get past that.
Yeah, it is. It's not bad. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of the old classic games. You know, that and Dust do. This game more so than Dust reminds me of the classic NES style games and arcade games. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm trying to remember anything else. Oh, I've also played a little bit of Alien Isolation, which I picked up. That is an awesome game. That is survival horror. That is Alien. That is done right.
That is oddly packaged in a game sale, available now in game.co.uk.
Really?
Do you remember what one of the idiots were a load of idiots were complaining about in streams and on forums and stuff of, you can't shoot the alien, we want to shoot stuff. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
They're giving that game for just £10 or £15 if you purchase Call of Duty. That's not going to help. I'm like, no, why are you doing this? That's only going to make the problem worse.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to be dicks, what they should have done is package it with Colonial Marines.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally selling one thing to people that don't want it. Like, selling James condoms. I'm sorry, Jim. You may put it over your head and making a hilarious balloon faces.
But yeah, if you want a great damage,
We've all done that.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, if you're an Alien fan, if you're a survival horror fan, if you like great atmospheric games, pick this one up. Be warned, it is survival horror through and through. It's not run and gun. It's heavily stealth based, so be ready for that. I do believe there's going to be a review for that up sometime. Is there not, Mole?
There was supposed to be, but I couldn't get hold of Anastasia.
Ah, fair enough.
So I'll review it you whenever you're ready.
Okay, cool. So yeah, keep an eye out in the gaming zone for the upcoming Alien Isolation review. We will review that before the end of the year, just so it's still mildly relevant.
Possibly.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, you have your thing coming up. That's true. Maybe we'll do it in the next.
I have all of December busy, and a load of big games coming out in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. We'll postpone the WWE review. It's cool.
Uh-huh.
We'll see. We'll have it up eventually.
Yeah, eventually. We'll do it eventually.
I think that's pretty much all. I'm playing a lot of games. You know, same TV stuff. I'm not going to go into that. The same shows, same 4 channels.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll do it for my catch up for this month. I've just been trying to catch up on all the new games that came out in the last month that I picked up.
There was an extra thing you might want to talk about.
What's that?
Because I remember you talked about it before we went to record WXR, and you were like, it's a shame you can't really talk about this during WXR. I believe you watched a certain Confidential with Degeneration X.
Ah,
you
yeah,
were
I
looking
did.
for an excuse to talk about in one of our shows.
Oh.
Yeah, I did watch DX Confidential, which is a WWE Network original special, which aired. I believe it premiered immediately following Raw on Monday. It was pretty
Well,
cool. It was basically.
not immediately, because immediately following Raw was WWE Backstage Pass interview with Hulk Hogan.
I think
Okay,
he
well,
means.
that's in the back.
I think he means last week because he was talking about it before Raw this week and before we recorded with
Okay.
Richter. So
But yeah, so I watched that. It was actually kind of cool. It was basically a DX panel. It was Triple H and Shawn Michaels sitting on a stage with Michael Cole. Although Michael Cole not behind the desk, he's actually okay. But it's basically them, and they had a live crowd of people who I assume bought tickets for the panel, like any standard panel. And they were just talking about DX. You know, they just ran through the history of DX. Cole was asking them a couple questions here and there, and about their experiences and whatnot. It was pretty informative and it was pretty interesting stuff. From what I understand, some of the stories they relayed or related in this panel were also mentioned on the Monday Night Wars documentary. But I mean, it makes sense because Monday Night Wars documentary, they would have talked. DX was obviously a huge part of that, and they would have talked about the formation and stuff like that. But it was just kind of cool just to seeing here Triple H and Shawn Michaels just shooting the shit about DX and reminiscing about when they first met and how it all formed and stuff, and meeting China, and then what happened after Shawn Michaels left due to back injury. They didn't know if he was coming back. Triple H was like, yeah, I was kind of like, oh shit, what do I do now? Shawn's kind of gone. Can I actually do this without him? Will DX work without him? And
the answer was no.
Yeah, the answer was not really.
I think it did, but that's because that's when I started watching. So I guess it's controversial whether it did or not. But Triple H said, I get apparently it made money and stuff like that, and fans responded to it. So apparently it was a success, regardless if you liked it or not. It was a success, just like Bayformers, whether you liked it or not, was a success.
It was a success, but whether or not, like, say, John Cena was a success, but whether or not Cena is right for his character, whether based on how he is now, considering he started as a hardcore rapper, considering DX started as more smart and like snarky smarks, holding up signs and being villains, to suddenly turn around and be complete faces in a load of sections that were proven to be fake, yet deliberately disguised as real, undermined everything DX were, and suddenly they stopped being cool and edgy and became just cartoon cutouts.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Character development.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear them talk about it. If any of our listeners out there have the WWE Network, which you can get now for just how much, people?
$6.25
in pounds. No.
Yes,
only
and it launches here
$9.99
today.
for only $9.99 a month, and as was mentioned on WXR yesterday, it is literally now $9.99 a month, no strings attached.
Which
because
I will
they
also,
get away with that crap.
and actually, technically, right now it's free.
That's true. Month of November it is free. So if you're a DX fan and you don't have it, check it out. Get the network for this month. Check that out along with other DX stuff. Check out Survivor Series at the end of the month.
And I will say to our UK conglomerate people, the mole holers, if you will, I will say to all of you, if you can dig this, the WWE Network, when it launches in the UK, I need to test this out. We may have found a workaround on the PS4, PS3 issue.
Oh.
Because it's not launching on PS3 and PS4 like tomorrow. It's not listed at all. Some people think we might have to wait till Wednesday. Some people say the 18th. Some say it might not come at all. However, the American app is exactly the same as the UK app. So if you download it using an American account, then sign in with your English account using your English login details, it should put you on the WWE Network.
Oh dear.
Already installed.
Fair enough.
So I can report next week whether or not that works, people.
There we go.
Let's move over to the mole for his catch-up of the month.
Agreed.
Fair enough, and I'll keep these short as well. I'm going to say I've read Supergirl Volume 1. Pretty damn awesome. It's weird, some of the stuff to do with that, but I'll go into more detail. But I'll just say new villains, including people called World Killers. More on that for December.
There's a review of that coming out for that, right? For DC Ember.
There will be.
Nice.
Lego DC Batman Beleaguered I watched as well, which we'll be reviewing this month with myself, Marcus Shadow, and James Phoenix. And yeah, I'm going to say that's pretty awesome. I believe James said if you're in America, it's on CartoonNetwork.com right now.
And it was a couple of days ago when I checked. It was on CartoonNetwork.com, and it was available for free without logging in. How long that will last, I do not know.
Yep. And if you're in the UK, I don't know if the UK actual one has that still working, if that makes sense. I don't know if we have it on ours, but we do. But hopefully we do. I never know. You know what I mean? It's hard to tell. But because some of our on-demand stuff, especially with Cartoon Network, is useless. But yeah, so a review of that will be coming as well. Next thing I'll talk about is I watched a film today.
Oh, okay.
Grudge Match.
Oh, you actually watched it today. Nice.
Sylvester Stallone and Robert De Niro as old-time boxers who have a rivalry between each other in a sports comedy. And I've got to tell you, this film, it's not a good film, but it's fucking enjoyable. I put it to you. They actually made them slightly different enough. It was hilarious, and they had a real story there too, which surprised me. But I put it to you: old man Sylvester Stallone and old man Robert De Niro in green motion caption suits, trying to capture their boxers fighting for a video game with all the bulbs and shit like motion captures. Then they get pissed off and they end up fighting to the point where one grabs the other and just slams him through a fucking table. And then when he gets up, the other one goes, and just like they run and just like tackle each other through the fucking projector screen. It's hilarious. They also throw in loads of jokes to do with Rocky and stuff. Like they go into the meat house and Rocky turns around and goes and gets into his pose like he's about to punch the meat like he did in Rocky, that famous meat scene. And right as he goes to punch it, his manager stops him and goes, "What the hell are you doing?" And he goes, "You brought me here to punch the meat, right? I want to punch the meat." And his manager goes, "No! I brought you here to get dinner. You don't always have to punch everything. Besides, that would be extremely unsanitary." And he goes, "Oh," and just walks off. And I'm like, that's genius. I'm like, that's pretty funny. But the reason there's a real story here, and the ending is brilliant. Everyone wins in the ending. The ending, everyone wins, because the ending is their fight between each other. But the way it's been built up is it turns out the character that Sylvester Stallone played of Razor, he's blind in one side. And yeah, he's been faking through it, and he goes to have the boxing fight. The character Robert De Niro plays as the kid is really like resentful that Razor just walked away all those years ago and didn't give him the fight between the two of them that they really wanted, the third fight. All he wants is to win. But as the film progresses, he bonds with his son, he bonds with his grandson and stuff like that. And in the end, they're fighting. They prove they still got what it takes and stuff like that. And the Robert De Niro character almost goes to win when he takes advantage of the fact he finds out Sylvester Stallone's blind in one side, hence he's not been using that side to fight, and beats the shit out of him. Sylvester Stallone's down. He sees the disappointment in his son, like, "Congratulations, you just beat a blind guy," as the son had said to him before if he went to do that. And the referee starts to count. 5, 6, 7... And De Niro's character just walks over to him and picks him up. And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Come at me." And then they fight face to face. And the end result is Sylvester Stallone's character ends up winning, which means he gets to prove he can still do it. He's still got what he takes. He shouldn't have given up his boxing career like he wanted to, because he just wanted one more fight. And De Niro's character learns that he can let other people win and win outside of the ring by bonding with his family. It's actually really well done, and I'm like, there's a great story there. It's funny, It's not the best film, but it's enjoyable. It's oddly enjoyable.
Nice. Sounds like a good movie.
Nice. Yeah.
It was. I like that film. And earlier today, I was also playing. Check it out, people! Brand new Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. This is day 0.
Nice.
And I am playing it on day 0.
Nice.
Which I believe the day 0 editions haven't even launched in America yet. Because it launches there Tuesday, so when it's midnight there, that's when your day 0 will be allowed to be sold.
Fair enough.
Or activated. The story mode's pretty fucking awesome with what you can do. The new abilities do add a lot of stuff. I will say for multiplayer, yeah, you still get some campers and respawn killers and a load of the Call of Duty cliches, but it's kind of fun. I mean, it's still fun for multiplayer, and with the new abilities like double jump to like rocket up to places, being able to dodge. My character has an ability where he goes boom and pulls a shield out of his arm. It's kind of cool. And when you're going through the story mode, there's extra abilities and stuff in there. Like there's a grenade that when you throw it, shows every single person in the area, which is great. There's another grenade that you can throw that sort of just goes tracks where people are and flies at them automatically, which is pretty awesome. You can even, on the story mode, I don't know if there's a map on multiplayer to let you do this, rip a car door off and carry it as a shield.
Nice.
Which I'm like, that's kind of awesome. Yeah, the game's kind of cool. And I'm sorry, I will admit, the first time I was playing it and that big like mech thing just walks over me, and it's fucking huge. And I'm getting to look up, and I'm underneath a giant robotic spider. I'm like, holy fuck! That is not only the best looking giant robot spider I've seen in a game. Not only is it the best looking spider tank thing, best looking tank I've seen. It's fucking huge! It makes me feel like, oh shit, I'm here. Holy shit, this is the future. I like that. So they've done a great job with the campaign mode from what I've played so far. And yeah, that was what I've done pretty much this week. Or this month, I should say. Besides, like, obviously I've finished like Super Mega Force and the various other stuff we do. So over to Jim.
Alrighty. So, I'm just going to keep this short. I did finish the Kingdom Keeper series. I don't have any of them with me. I'm not going to go into too much detail because there will be a full review of the entire 7-book series coming up at some point in time here. So, that'll probably be sometime in 2015 that'll be coming up. So I'm not going to go into detail. Just suffice to say that there was a pretty big climax. It was pretty awesome. It ended in Disneyland in California. And that there was a bit of shark jumping going on in the 7th book. But I'll give more detail at that point. But it's a great series. Check it out.
There was a pretty big climax, and that was just his response.
Ah. But yeah, so go check that out. It's an awesome series, and again, I'll be more detailed in my forthcoming video. Other things I have done this month.
Available next year for the summer, or slightly delayed to the fall, or then into the winter, or then maybe into the spring next time, or then maybe into summer once more with Disney.
Huh.
See, I help plug your show.
Fair enough. Anyway, one other thing that I'm surprised Marcus Shadow didn't bring it up, is that one thing this month is Marcus.
He has difficulty getting up.
That's true. But both Mole and Marcus Shadow and I, because like it was free on the PlayStation Plus on the store, I got PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale, which I was playing with these two gentlemen. That was quite a bit of fun.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
I was playing mostly as Jack, although I've also found that Spike from Ape Escape is pretty awesome too. Those are my two characters. I developed a few of the others. I played through Nathan Drake's story mode. I played through Sly Cooper's story mode. I think I did Kratos' also. I did the 5 of them so far. So it's a great fun game. A lot of great back and forth combat. I like it a lot. The arenas are fun. I haven't tried any of the... I haven't tried all the modes yet. I did a little bit of online bits with Marcus Shadow, but he booked us into some match where we got ourselves immediately ass-raped, so thanks, Marcus.
That was one match.
To be fair,
Anyway.
if you go online, you're probably going to get destroyed when you're against other players anyway, because a lot of the people, especially the ones doing the tournament as it's listed, or season, whatever the hell it's listed at, which is mostly XP, they're people who have had the game since launch, and they still are playing it now.
Yeah, they were all at like level 99.
Yeah, plus to be fair, on fighting games, whenever you play online, you're always going to run into a lot of people who are better than you. It's part of the fun.
True.
Yep.
But that was a fun game, and I really enjoyed that game, so I'm glad I downloaded that. I got my PlayStation Plus, all except for PS4, so that's good. Did that. What else did I do? I also played,
Lego games.
I played some more Lego Harry Potter. That was fun. Did a few more levels. I'm up to a little bit into Prisoner of Azkaban at this point. We just got off the Hogwarts Express. I just finished that portion. So, good stuff. Loading a Patronus soon, hopefully. Pretty fun. Still a great series. Played a little more.
It was to do with what you were saying. I was just going to say, I'm surprised they haven't done that.
What?
They made a load of Lego video games of Lego Star Wars. We got Lego Star Wars TV specials. They've done a load of Marvel one. They've done a Marvel one for the Marvel game, Batman ones. How come they never did a Lego Harry Potter TV special, like a little 30-minute fun little episode thing? I don't see why they wouldn't do that.
It's a good question. I don't know. But, yeah. So that's that. Played a little more Jak and Daxter HD Collection. Jak 2, did a few more missions on it. Still awesome. Just like I remember from PS2, just with better graphics and some hilarious trophy names.
Which is the one with his awesome gun staff thing I loved. Sorry, it's probably my fault. I don't know Jak. Hi! Oh, sorry. Am I supposed to do it?
Bull gets multiple rim shots. He gets multiple rim shots.
Yep.
Anyway.
Thank you guys for that rim job.
Anyway, what else have you done, Jim?
Awesome gun stuff.
Anyway, I listened to a couple of CDs. Well, different type. This is George Strait, The Cowboy Rides Away, the live from the AT&T Stadium. It's a good variety of both his classic songs from many years ago as well as a couple of recent ones, some of his top hits. It was a really good album. I liked it a lot. I think... Yeah, Yemo?
Oh, I was going to say, I realise over there AT&T as a company, it's not here. Whenever anyone says that, my first thought is the AT-AT from Star Wars, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Wait, why would he be performing in one of those? And then I'm like, no, it's the company.
Fair enough.
Yes, what's the other CD you listened to, Jim?
Yeah, I believe this is actually, the big deal is that this CD is of the concert. It's George Strait's final concert ever, actually. So it was kind of a big deal. So he had a lot of guest stars on there with him, including Vince Gill, Jason Aldean, Eric Church, Martina McBride, Sheryl Crow, Faith Hill, Alan Jackson, Miranda Lambert, Kenny Chesney, and more. The other album I have here.
Some pretty big names there.
Yeah, good stuff. And then this is Tim McGraw's newest CD. This is entitled Sundown Heaventown. I have not gone through the entirety of this CD yet. I listened to about the first 6 or 7 songs on here, and I know the 8th song because that one's on the radio a lot. But great album so far. I always like Tim McGraw. His songs are always really good, even the ones that don't necessarily make it to the radio and aren't big hits. They always kind of run very smoothly together. They got good tone, very relaxing, and it's great messages to him. So I always like listening to a little Tim McGraw. Good stuff. I'm trying to get Brett Pace's new CD. It wasn't available at the time, but I will have that in the future at some point. Was there anything else I wanted to mention for this? Did the Kingdom Keepers, did the games, did the CDs. Nope, I think that's it.
Cool. Well, before we take off, there's one more thing I wanted to mention.
Hang on a minute. Mole's going to say something. Yes, Mole?
No, it's cool. Marcus can go.
All right.
So before we sign off for the evening, there's one more thing I wanted to mention that Mr. Phoenix and I did recently with help of our good friend Aeon Ryder over there of the Toku Reviews. For those of you who are fans of Cards Against Humanity online, through the site, was it
Pretend you're Zixi.
Pretend You're Zixi, XYZZY. That's the site we used to play the game. We went on to Cardcast and actually made a Star Trek: The Next Generation deck, and it is focused solely on Next Generation. You can search for it, type in The Next Generation or Star Trek: The Next Generation. As of right now, I believe there are only 2 decks, ours and another one that's not as good, which is why we made this one. At least we didn't think the other one was as good, which is why I suggested we make this one. So please check it out.
At least Marcus didn't think it was good because he's the only one that actually looked at it before he suggested we make this deck.
Yeah, but please check it out, rate it, use it. Hopefully other people will think it's good. We are all Trekkies, so there's some pretty good references.
It should also be worth noting, if you're going to do that, search for the official X-Pound deck made by Rick the Hammer, who's still been invalidated in our own videos.
Indeed, and also check out the awesome WWE deck created by our own Chris, aka the Mole, if you're a wrestling fan.
Don't even know if that's listed or not.
Oh, okay. My bad.
It might be. It might be listed. If it is, it'll be under Mole's wrestling deck.
You can also check out the awesome Power Rangers deck created by our own Fallen Angel.
I don't think that one's listed.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Fair enough. But yeah, so check those out.
Yeah, great decks out there. If you're a fan of the game, give it a shot. I will note, in regards to Marcus Shadow's earlier comment, yes, it's focused solely on Next Gen, but because there are occasional cameos from TOS characters in there who use their famous catchphrases, Marcus insisted on putting them in against my objections. So
there's only like one catchphrase in there, or one phrase in there that I used. But anyway.
Anyway, go ahead. Finish it up.
Yeah, so I don't know. We may make decks based on other Trek series. We haven't decided yet. Also, the Next Gen deck does also include references from the Next Gen movies, since it's all Next Gen.
I forgot to mention something I'd done this week.
Sure,
take them all. Go ahead.
But no, it's cool. I'll do it next week because I'll be watching it again.
Okay. Fair enough. So yeah, that does it. Godzilla. That was awesome. So. But that'll do it from the X-Pound for this edition of Around the Pound. We hope you've enjoyed it. Leave any comments below in the little comment section or on our website, our xpound.probors.com on our forums. We'll be more than happy to talk to you. And until next week, I've been your host, Marcus Shadow, for James Phoenix and Chris, a.k.a. The Mole. Have a good evening, everyone.